This is my U.S. history project for my first period class, Miss Berry's. As you can see, I'm actually in my work right now at Red Hut because I'm taking initiative and doing my homework. So, yeah. All right. Starting in 2003, when I was born, the 2003 Boumediene earthquake occurred on May 21st in northern Algeria. The shock had a moment magnitude of 6.8. Approximately 2,266 people were killed, 10,261 injured, and 200,000 left homeless as a result of the earthquake. Next, the 2003 European heat wave led to the hottest summer on record in Europe. The heat wave led to health crisis in several countries and combined with the drought to create a crop shortfall in parts of southern Europe. Powerful earthquake rocks Iran, killing over 20,000 people. A powerful earthquake measuring 6.3 struck the city of Bam in Iran. The Interior Ministry said Sunday more than 20,000 people have been confirmed dead in the devastating earthquake. On the 14th of April 2003, Saddam was captured by American forces in Iraq while attempting to flee from Baghdad to Syria. The Canal Hotel bombing in Baghdad, Iraq, in the afternoon of August 19, 2003, killed at least 22 people, including the United Nations Special Representative in Iraq, and wounded over 100. Now 2004. On March 12, 2004, in Spain, Abdul Hafs al-Misri Badij claims responsibility for 4 bombs on Madrid trains, killing 198 and wounding 600. Sorry if my pronouncing of names is really bad. It's hard to do their names. Alright, next, on April 8th, 2004 in India, militants detonated a bomb that killed 9 and injured about 50 others, including 2 elected officials. The incident occurred at the People's Democratic Party rally in Uri. On April 22nd in Iraq, and the Basra bombing took place. 5 suicide car bombers target police stations in and around Basra, killing 74 people, including 18 school children, and wounded 160 others. The 2004 enlargement of the European Union was the largest single expansion of the European Union in terms of territory, number of states, and population to date. Cyprus, the Czech Republic, Estonia, Hungary, Lithuania, Malta, Poland, and Slovakia and Slovenia were added. On September 1st, 2004, armed Chechen rebels took approximately 1,200 children and adults hostage at the school in Beslan, North Ossetia, Russia, at approximately 9 a.m. local time. The siege ended on September 3rd, 2004, with more than 330 killed, including 186 children and more than 700 people wounded. Now 2005. On the 7th of July 2005, London bombings were a series of coordinated terrorist suicide attacks in London. 4 Islamic terrorists separately detonated 3 homemade bombs in quick succession aboard London Underground trains across the city, and later a 4th on a double-decker bus in Tavistock Square. This changed the European look on terrorism forever. In 2005, Hurricane Katrina in the U.S., which slammed into the Gulf Coast, the storm caused 4,000 deaths and almost 160 billion in damage to the U.S., Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean. On April 9, 2005, Prince Charles finally married his long-loved Camilla Parker Bowles in an event warmly welcomed by the most British public. In 2005, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is elected president of Liberia and takes office on January 6, 2006, becoming the first woman president in an African country. She was president from 2006 to 2018. On October 8, 2005, a massive 7.6 magnitude earthquake strikes the Kashmir border region between India and Pakistan. An estimated 70,000 people, nearly half of them children, were killed and 70,000 more were injured. In 2006, Mumbai, Italy, on July 11th, a string of powerful bombs ripped through the vital spine of Mumbai's communicator train during the event rush hour on Tuesday, killing nearly 200 people. In Indonesia, more than 300 people were reported killed this morning, and at least 160 missing as rescue workers uncovered a full extent of tsunami on the Indonesian island of Java. On October 9, 2006, North Korea said Sunday night that it had set off its first nuclear test, becoming the 8th country in history and arguably the most unstable and most dangerous to proclaim, and it has joined the club of nuclear weapon states. In 2006, Medellin bombings were a series of bomb blasts that took place on September 8, 2006 in Medellin, a town and Nashik district of the Indian state of Maharashtra, killing 37 people. Saddam Hussein is charged on May 15th, and following the trial is found guilty of crimes against humanity and sentenced to the death by hanging. Hussein was a known terrorist and sentenced to death on November 5th, 2006. This changed the world, and finally the people had the power. Now on to 2007. An earthquake measuring 8 on the Richter scale strikes the central coast of Peru, leaving 500 dead. This changed the people and landscape of Peru for decades to come. This was the largest earthquake Peru ever had. On July 17, 2007, TAM Airlines Airbus 230 flight crashes into Brazil with the loss of 199 people. This was the biggest mass deaths in Brazil history at the time. The plane overshot the runway on a rainy night and crashed into a building. On December 11th, Algeria, more than 60 people were killed, including 11 United Nations staff members, when Al-Qaeda terrorists detonated 2 car bombs near Algeria's Constitutional Council and United Nations offices. On June 30th, 2007, a terrorist attack on Gulf Airport by terrorists working as doctors in the British Health Service. This attack killed thousands and left the people of Scotland living in terror. On November 7, 2007, Perek Erik Uviran, a student at Johila Secondary School, goes to a shooting rampage, killing 10, including taking his own life. This left the town and school in terror and tragedy. Now to 2008. On February 19, 2008, Fidel Castro steps down as president of Cuba after almost 50 years. At age 81, he stepped down from this position. His country left without a president for a while, but the Cuban people honored Castro as their past president. On February 27, 2008, the largest earthquake hit Britain in 25 years. It was recorded as a 5.2 earthquake. This left the people of Britain in pieces, but they soon recovered. On March 2, 2008, a suicide bomber killed 40 people on the gathering of tribal leaders in the northern part of Pakistan. This left many tribes without their leader and living in fear of future events. On May 12, 2008, in Sichuan, China, the largest earthquake recorded hit that area at a 7.9 level earthquake on the scale. It hit at 2:30 p.m. on a regular day. This left estimated 60,000 people dead and up to 5 million homeless. On June 2, 2008, a tropical cyclone devastates the Irrawaddy region of Burma, leaving over 50,000 dead. This area was never the same after the cyclone, and people continued to live in fear for the next storm. Now on to 2009. On March 2, 2009, the president of Guinea-Bissau, João Bernardo Vieira, is assassinated. This happened a day after an explosion killed the head of the West Africa's country military. This left the people in power in fear because they were coordinated attacks against politicians in power. On April 6, 2009, a 6.3 magnitude earthquake strikes near L'Aquila, Italy, killing nearly 300. This area has never experienced this magnitude of earthquake and has left the people in buildings in shock for years to come. On September 30th, 2009, a 7.6 magnitude earthquake strikes the city of Padang, Mistura, killing over 1,000 in Indonesia. This beautiful group of islands were left in almost rubble after the huge earthquake tore through the land. On February 7th, 2009, the deadliest bushfires in Australian history hits Victoria and leaves 173 people dead, and more than 2,000 homes destroyed. The people were shocked and in a state of shock for months to come because of this bushfire. On April 1st, 2009, Albania and Croatia joined the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. This brings the countries to peace with other countries. In 2010, now on to 2010. On January 13, 2010, a magnitude 7 earthquake hits Haiti and devastates the country. This left the country in chaos for years to come. On April 9, 2010, an underground explosion at the Upper Big Party Branch mine in Monocle, Wrigley Country, West Virginia, leaves 29 out of the 31 miners underground dead. This has been the worst mining accident since 1970. On August 9th, 2010, floods in Pakistan caused the higher than normal monsoon rains caused flooding on a scale unseen before. 20% of the country flooded. This leaves millions homeless, starving, and causes major disruption to the country. On February 7, 2010, earthquake measuring 8.8 magnitudes occurred off the coast of central Chile and resulted in tsunami combined with the earthquake, resulting in the death of over 500 plus immense damage. On the 29th of 2010, suicide bombers carry out train attacks on Central Libya Station and the Park Culture Station in Moscow Metro, leaving 40 dead and 60 injured. This left this area in fear and chaos. 2011, the March 11th, an underground earthquake hit a magnitude of 9, hits off the coast of Japan, causing a tsunami with waves over 350 feet high. This caused a nuclear disaster at a power plant. The earthquake nearly 1,600 deaths, over 6,000 injuries, and almost 3,000 people missing. About 4.4 million households went without power, and about 1.5 million went without water. On July 22nd, a bomb blast hit the city of Oslo and kills at least 8 people. On July 16th, Anders Behring Breivik attacks an island youth camp, killing another 68 people. The attacks shocked the normally peaceful nation, and Breivik indicated that he orchestrated both of the attacks for political reasons and his extremist views. On December 16, 2011, Russia officially became part of the World Trade Organization after taking a part in a ceremony in Switzerland. 18 years were spent negotiating the country's membership, and Russia was finally added to the organization after making a deal with Georgia, who has been trying to block Russia's membership. October 11, 2011, the Southern Korean parliament ratified a deal that would open up free trade between country and the United States. The deal would potentially increase United States imports into South Korea by about $10 billion. Now into 2012. On June 15, 2012, China launched its latest space mission that would include the country's first woman astronaut, Luo Yang, a 33-year-old military pilot. This was a part of the crew aboard the Shenzhou. 22-year-old Adam Lakini attacked Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newton, Connecticut, shooting and killing 22 people on December 14th. Most of the victims were children. Lysina killed himself before he could be caught. Australian Felix Baumgartner becomes the first person to break the sound barrier without mechanical assistance when he jumps over New Mexico on October 14th. The end of the Mayan calendar, or the end of the world as some believed, is observed with little or no consequence on August 14, 2012. Russia has lifted a 26-year-old ban on the importation of British beef and lamb after an agreement was made. It has been banned previously due to concerns over the initial BSE breakout in country. BSE is mad cow disease. In 2013, a powerful meteor explodes near Chelyabinsk in Russia and injures nearly 1,500 people while causing damage to several thousand buildings on February 15th. North Korea continues missile and nuclear tests despite international pressure, increasing tension between the secretive nation and the rest of the world. Authorities monitoring the test states that it has doubled the force of the test conducted in 2009. On May 10, 2013, a garment factory in Bangladesh collapses, killing 1,127 people and injuring another 2,500 people. The workers have been ordered to report there despite warnings of building safety from the previous day. Okay, so funny story, Ms. Berry. My computer just died at work, so I'm using my friend Alex's phone to read off of his. So a little improv is going on. So after the May 10th, 2013, after the factory accident, 2 bombs were exploded at the Boston Marathon on April 15th, killing 3 and injuring 264 people. 2 pressure cooker bombs were set off at the Boston Marathon near the finish line, killing 3 people and injuring another 264 people. Millions of Target customers' data is stolen in a large security breach over the holiday shopping season, which inflicted a lot of market loss for Target. Now on to 2014. On January 2nd, 30 people are killed after a bus plunges off a cliff and falls 400 feet in the Mashhadi Ghat in India. On February 11th, 77 people are killed after a military transport plane crashes in Algeria. On April 23rd, 60 people are killed in Algeria. On April 23rd, 60 people are killed and 80 are injured after a train crashes in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. On July 17th, the Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 is shot down over eastern Ukraine by a bulk surface-to-air missile launched from a pro-Russian separatist controlling territory, killing all 283 passengers and 15 crew on board. On October 3rd, 83 million accounts are compromised after a cyber attack on J.P. Morgan Chase and 9 other financial institutions. Now on to 2015. On April 25th, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake near Kaluia in Nepal, killing over 8,000, leaving over 100,000 people homeless and destroying many historic sites. On June 3rd, 200 people are killed by an explosion at the gasoline station in Accra, Ghana. August 4th, 31 people are killed and 100 are injured after floods partly sweep 2 passenger trains off a bridge in Madhya Pradesh in India. On September 16th, a 8.3 magnitude quake hits off the coast of La Pelle, Chile, killing 11 and prompting evacuation of 1 million. On December 20th, a landslide from construction waste in Zhejiang, China, leaves 64 dead or missing and buries of 30 buildings. Now into 2016, only 3 more. February 11th, a riot between rival drug cartels at a prison in Monterrey, Mexico, leaving 52 dead. On May 27th, 3 ships in 3 days sink carrying immigrants across the Mediterranean, drowning over 700 people. On July 15th, an attempted military coup in Turkey fails. Nearly 300 people killed and 6,000 men arrested. On October 8th, 140 people are killed in an airstrike during a wake in Sana'a, Yemen. December 1st, UN admits its peacekeepers were responsible for the cholera epidemic in Haiti in 2010 that killed 30,000 people. Now into 2017. February 16th, car bomb in Bahia, Baghdad, kills at least 48 people. Islamic State claims responsibility. This is the 3rd attack at this time in 3 days. March 22nd, a terrorist attack in London's Westminster Bridge and House of Parliament kills 4, including a police officer, and injures 40. On June 14th, a fire in Greenville Tower blocked in London, England, kills 79 people and injures 37. On June 24th, UN states Yemen cholera epidemic reaches 200,000 cases, with 1,300 deaths. This is the worst cholera breakout anywhere in the world. September 9th, Egyptian archaeologists announced the discovery of 3,500-year-old tomb of Goldsmith and his family in Drabul Naga, Egypt. Now it's 2018, only 1 year ago. A 6.0 magnitude earthquake strikes Hualien Country, Taiwan on February 6, leaving 10 dead and over 50 missing. This country was left in horror with no help. On March 6, the highest overdose death rates ever recorded in the U.S. 142,000 overdoses in 2016 to 2017 period, according to U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. This changed the outlook on overdosing for the U.S. On May 19th, a dam burst after heavily rain near Zole, Kenya, killing at least 41. This area was left without a water source and loss of friends and family. On June 16th, 2 suicide bombers attacked Dambodia in Borno State, Nigeria, killing at least 31 people. On November 25th, a 6.3 magnitude earthquake strikes Iran, Kamishua province, injuring at least 700. This left the area in ruins and devastated. Now into 2019, this year. On January 7th, Amazon overtakes Microsoft to become the world's largest or most valuable listed company for the first time, worth $797 billion. On January 15th, witnesses in El Chapo's trail claims former Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto accepted $100 million bribe money from the drug cartel. On January 25th, a tailing dam for the iron core mine in Brumadinho, southeastern Brazil, collapses, killing at least 110 with 238 missing. This left hundreds of families devastated and in pieces. On March 10th, Ethiopian Airlines flight ET-302 crashes just after takeoff from Addis Ababa, killing all 157 on board. This isn't the first flight that crashed from this airline and led to many people not trusting this airline. And for the most recent U.S. law passed on May 15th, Alabama passes the law banning abortion in almost all cases, including rape or incest. This caused people of all over the U.S. in rage and disbelief at this new law. Many protests are against this new law, and it will forever be contradictory. All right, this has been my U.S. history project for Miss Berry's class.